Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for another episode here on the channel. Gonna get into what I think is a pretty awesome flip that I just did, courtesy of eBay. Unloaded a card and used the proceeds to bring in or haul in a dream card that I've always wanted and never owned yet in my many years as a collector. So really excited about that. But in order to tell that story, I'm gonna back up a little bit and talk about sort of a change in my philosophy on collecting and some thoughts on a player leaving the franchise that you enjoy the most. So to start off, I've had a shift in the way that I view my collection over the years that's kind of important to the story. And I thought of an analogy that I think does a pretty good job kind of giving you a visual in your mind of how I approach the hobby. So picture, if you would, next to this Xander Bogaerts card here in this empty space, a fish tank. And inside the fish tank, it's full of water, and there's a squid swimming around inside the fish tank. And the water, in this analogy, represents all of the cards that are out there in the world. Every drop of water in the fish tank is a card. When I first got back into the hobby, in this analogy, I viewed myself like the fish tank. I wanted to get every card that was out there, just accumulate them all. If I didn't have a double, I would never trade or give away or sell a card unless I had more than one. I would file them all away by year and set number or player, last name alphabetically, blah, blah, blah. And was just very methodical. And I wanted to accumulate as many different cards as I possibly could. That was my goal. So I was operating like the fish tank in this scenario and just trying to contain as much water as I could, not let any of it go, keep it all within the bounds of my collection. Well, in recent years, I've really woken up to the fact, based on, changes in the hobby, my maturity as a collector and other things, that I really operate more like the squid now. So if you picture how a squid swims, it takes in a bunch of water and then expels it out and jets forward. Takes in some water, expels it out. And that's kind of how I view my collection now. It is more a revolving door of cards, and I will use, I will sometimes use opportunity to sell cards, even cards that I like, to give me the funds to go after other things that I'm more into or maybe wouldn't be able to otherwise afford without taking advantage of some of the changes in the card market. And that's particularly been true in the last couple of years. It's really helped me to grow as a collector. So all of that, that analogy with the squid and the fish tank leads up to Xander Bogaerts. So I've talked about this guy many times here on the channel. My favorite player for my favorite franchise, the Boston Red Sox, since he debuted with the team back in the fall of 2013. Immediately won the World Series with them, was a big part of the other World Series team that he was on in 2018. I think one of the best shortstops in the game, and I've just loved, watching this guy play. It's been great for almost 10 years now to be able to go to Fenway Park every summer and see him, manning short and providing good offense for his position. Just, the model of reliability and predictability, very effective hitter and very a solid enough defender, especially at short. So this card here is, one of the cards that I'm most proud about in my Xander Bogaerts collection. I was fortunate enough to get into collecting his cards when he was still kind of not a nobody because he was a high prospect, but just coming up through and debuting with Boston. I was a rabid team fan at the time and just really got into him in 2013 and 2014 because of that World Series win. And he just looked like a promising young player. So I bought a lot of Bogaerts when it was cheap. But this, to this day is still probably my favorite card. But I have a couple other copies of it as well. So this is the blue refractor out of 199. This one doesn't quite shine so nicely because it's just very dark, but this is the black, obviously, refractor. These are numbered out of 100. So I do have this one as well. And then also around the time of release, picked up and is, the most rare of the three, the sepia refractor. This one glows pretty nicely, just like the blue does. This is numbered out of 75. So these, this trio represented kind of a cornerstone in my Xander Bogaerts collection over the years. I bought all three of these, I think, or at least two of them back in 2014 when this product was released. The third I may have added since then, but I didn't pay a lot of money for any of these three cards. And while I love Xander and he's still going to continue to be a favorite player for me going forward, regardless of whose, uniform he has on, and I'm actually excited to see him with the Padres, now that he's gone from the Red Sox, not going to see him in person very often, the luster is a little bit gone. I'm going to maintain most of my collection of his, and I will still pick up new Bogaerts cards going forward, continue to fill out my Z folio and root for the man. But I'm not really at a point, and I would almost be saying this even if he was staying with Boston, where I need three of these autographs. Like, this represents my old mentality of being the fish tank and having every card, and it wasn't enough that I had the blue. I wanted the other variations as well. And now looking at, back on these, I love all three of these cards, but certainly don't need all three. And so I thought I would capitalize on the fact that he signed with the Padres and maybe go fishing a little bit and see if there was any interest in somebody paying a good amount of money for one of these Bogaerts cards. So thought about it a little bit. The blue is my favorite. I really love how it matches the Red Sox team colors. And as you can see here, like the background on this one, just because of the way the refractor is, it just lights up like orange behind him in the dugout. Just awesome card. So I decided this is the one I want to keep. And I listed this sepia or sepia because, revolving door, I'm the Squid now. I can propel some water to move forward, get rid of some cards, and listed this at like a just insane buy it now price that I knew nobody would pay, but I did accept offers, and I just kind of sat back and listened over the course of the weekend. And I'm happy to say, no regret at all, I did sell this sepia refractor just this past weekend as I'm filming this video. Just shooting this now before I package it up to run it over the post office this afternoon between meetings. So it's been a good 10-year run with this card. Been really happy to have it in the collection, but the amount of money that I was able to get for this, it just was a no-brainer to let it go. I looked back in my email. I have an eBay folder in my personal email where I save all my notifications for auction wins and things that I can search. And I did buy this card in the fall of 2014 for $39.99 on a buy it now. So, for a $40 buy, a card that I enjoyed for 10 years, and I got, many, many times that in return. And then, the conclusion of this video, after all the, the fish tank analogy and the Bogaerts talk, I am going to stop it here. And through the magic of video editing, you will be fast forwarded through the, I'm sure, weeks of wait time while I package this up, send it off to the authenticator, thanks to eBay's great new authentication scheme, and also receive the card in the mail that I purchased with the proceeds from the Bogaerts, which I'm sure will also go through the authentication scheme. So we'll stop it here and hang tight, and then I'll be back in a minute here with the magic of video and the new card that I picked up with this Xander. So long, Xander, and let's see what I got with the return. All right, we are back, everybody, and thanks to the magic of modern video editing on my iPhone, we have fast-forwarded 2 to 3 weeks in time here. The Bogaerts Sepia Auto is with its new owner, properly authenticated, and I have received the big card that I picked up with the proceeds. So this has been a long enough video as it is. Let's just get right to it, and let's see what I picked up in exchange for that Sepia Xander, and it is the 1956 Topps Jackie Robinson. Just a gorgeous copy here in an SGC4. Absolutely beautiful card. Card I probably never thought I would own, certainly as a kid growing up. Have always idolized Jackie Robinson, as many baseball collectors do, and just fans of the game. An amazing human being, an amazing personality, and holding a playing era card of his in hand is just, feels really special and brings a smile to my face, with no disrespect to Xander Bogaerts, who's, a favorite player of mine and has been for a long time. His rookie card just, at least for me, everybody's different in the hobby, one man's opinion, but his autographed rookie just couldn't hold a candle to an authentic playing days 1956 Jackie Robinson baseball card. Just gorgeous. His cards are getting harder and harder, in my opinion, to scoop up as time goes by. I think a lot of people have kind of wised up over the last year or so in the market correction and all that stuff to the fact or the value of vintage, and just continues to kind of trend upwards. And what attracted me to this copy is obviously the gorgeous centering. If you know me as a collector or you've been by the channel, I really try to target centering, and you know, you're not going to find too many better centered copy 56s than this. It's maybe not perfect left to right, but it basically is top to bottom, and it just, man, absolutely passes the eye appeal test at arm's length. And as you can see, as I tilt it here, the surface of the card as well is just glorious. I mean, there is not a scratch or a crease or paper loss or snow, you know, anywhere on this card. Just, I mean, look at that. Just completely clean Jackie Robinson. Looks like maybe a little surface indentation here around his neck. That's not really a scratch so much as it is like a little indent or something. But, you know, I think that combined with this lower right corner, I'll see if I can get it to focus, is a little bit bunted. So those are the two things that, you know, knock this down to a 4. But man, this is a card I will always treasure. No plans on parting with this one, and just couldn't be happier flipping the Xander into this. Here's the back, also well centered and nice and clean. Like it's a I will never need to upgrade condition Jackie Robinson card. So that is the conclusion of today's video. I'm gonna just sit back and admire this beauty a little bit more. But that is my story of kind of becoming the squid in the fish tank and trading my Xander Bogaerts 2014 Topps Chrome Sepia autograph for a 1956 Topps Jackie Robinson. Thanks for sticking with me here, stopping by the channel and spending some of your valuable time here with me, as always. Truly appreciate it. And hopefully I can keep the momentum going here and get, you know, some more flips like this as we head into the new year. I certainly plan to. And if I'm able to be successful on that front, I'll be sure to share it with you. So thanks for stopping by. Be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. And until then, take care and enjoy the hobby, everybody.